is your favorite comic book cover of the week?
Hey comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0, and fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to bring you 2019's top 10 comic book covers. This is week 38, and fans, this is the video series where each and every week we count down my favorite top 10 comic book covers of the week, and just for fun, guys, you get to vote on which is your favorite comic book covers of the week. And don't forget to do that, put that in the comment section below. And by the time we get to the end of the year, we'll tally all these votes and we'll see which comic book cover winds up getting comic book cover of the year. So it's never too late to join, and if you don't vote, it's cool just to watch the video anyway, right? So yes, so if you like this video at any time, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that all-important like button so people know that this video is out there, and hit that bell so you don't miss any content from me. So, before we get into week 38's group of books, we must recap a little bit and find out who won last week. Well, I think this year has been the biggest margin of victory for a book to date. And so the winner of week 37 wound up going to Catwoman, issue 15, the Artgerm variant. This was Artgerm's final Catwoman variant cover. It was awesome, and a lot of you guys love this one because, again, it kind of plays true to that Michelle Pfeiffer look, even if he had to kind of sway away from it a little bit. It was probably one of his best covers yet when it came to the Catwoman covers. I wouldn't say in general as all time, but this was a good one. Alright, so without any ado now, let's get started with this week's countdown, starting off with number 10. And number 10 goes to Once a Future, and this is issue 2. This is done by Boom Studios. Now, take note, I felt this week, personally for me, this is a weak list of covers. I was searching and searching and searching, and there are some cool ones in here, but there's a lot of different indie books on there, which is cool, but I don't think this has been as strong as a week. But this was a decent cover where we get to see whoever this old guy is, and he's got this magical sword, or I'm assuming it's magical. I heard good things about this book, and I haven't had the chance to read it. And you get to see him holding this sword down, and there's like these zombies or creatures or whatever there are in there. I don't know, but they look pretty cool. So I was like, yeah, this is not bad. So yeah, I thought this one was cool, adequate to fit the top 10. Number 10. If you like this one, go ahead and vote. Alright, so let's move on to number 9. This one is Batman. This is issue 79. This is the Clayman variant cover. I like the main cover too with Tony S. Daniel, but I decided to throw Clayman's artwork in here because his artwork is really gorgeous. I think what kept this book from being a higher tier cover this week was because of the lack of backgrounds. I think it's got this light purple and it kind of blends in with Batman's suit. So maybe it's done on purpose that way. I don't know. But Catwoman looks great. Batman does look great as well, as they're coming at you, doing some action poses and stuff like that. So this one was pretty cool. So this was my number 9. If this is your favorite of the week, go ahead and vote. Alright, so let's move on to number 8. Now, this is not an issue. This is actually an omnibus. And this one is done by Mark Waid. This is the Unknown Omnibus, okay? And this shit's just creepy, man. I mean, there's some weird woman, which is normal, and she's got her mouth open, but then there's this line drawn, and beneath that line, it's like a skeleton jaw and some weird roots coming out of her mouth, like she's throwing up these roots, and it's just very dark and eerie, just something that you would see out of a movie. I'm just like, this is creepy. I'm like, I have to put this one in the countdown just for their weird factor in itself. So if this was your number 8, or I'm sorry, if this was your number 1 of the week, go ahead and vote. All right, so let's move on, guys. Let's move on to number 7. All right, so number 7 for me. Now, this is a nice cover, but again, it's just Vampirella. This is issue number 3. This looks great, and I know this is not done by Artgerm, and I forgot who actually did this particular issue, and Artgerm is doing a Vampirella cover very soon, but this one looks good, don't get me wrong, but nevertheless, obviously, it's just her on there, and just the moon, and she looks sexy, and that's what it is, and it looks good. I like it, don't get me wrong, but it's a little risque. You know, I don't usually put such provocative covers on here, but it does look good. And if this is your favorite cover of the week, yes, go ahead and vote. So that's number 7. All right, so let's move on here. Let's go on to number 6. And number 6 this week goes to Lethal Protectors. This is issue 2. And yeah, this one is awesome because it's got the Life Foundation symbiotes on there, and they're all swarming down, and they're going after whoever it could be, right? And this looks like a Clayton Crane one, and I'm not sure if it is. I couldn't find actually who did this particular cover, but nevertheless, I love the colors. You know, they're all, you know, different colors of basically the rainbow or the color wheel or whatever it is, but they look very menacing. I love the eyes in them and their jaw lines. I think that's really cool, you know? So yeah, this one made number 6 this week. If this is your favorite cover of the week, go ahead and vote. All right, so moving on to the top 5 now. Number 5 goes to Absolute Carnage issue 3. Now there's many variants to this particular book, but nevertheless, I got this variant, and for me, this one was very cool looking, where we have Doppelganger going against Venom, which I think is a really cool looking cover. He's like trying to twist his head off, and he's got these big bug eyes, and Venom has just got this like slime coming out of his mouth, or whatever the case may be. It's just really gory, and he's pinned up against the wall, so the wall's all cracked up and stuff like that. So that looks cool too. So I was like, man, this is pretty cool cover, and I actually bought this one. So if this is your favorite cover of the week, go ahead and vote. All right, so let's move on to number 4. Number 4 was another book I bought this week, and this was House of X. I think this one is issue 5. And this variant is cool because it has Nightcrawler. He's bamfing out of who knows where into this area where there's all these people that have these pitchforks and torches, and he's right outside the church, and he's got his swords, and he's just ready to go to battle. And it's almost like a kind of like this, I guess, classic Nightcrawler, if you say so. You know, he kind of looks like that. And I love the reflection off his knee where the fire is burning off of him and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. And I like it that it takes place in the nighttime and the moon's in the background. So cool stuff. This one made number 4. If this is your favorite cover of the week, go ahead and vote. All right. So next is number 3 on the list. This one, it goes to the History of Marvel Universe. This is issue 3. This one is cool because this reminds me of like the 70s of comic books, and it has all these Marvel characters on here. You got the Vision, and you got Scarlet Witch, and you got Annihilus, and you have Hulk and Professor X and Namor, a classic looking Thing. And this kind of reminds me of comic books like late 70s, early 80s, and I was just like blown away by this. And I love the way actually Mr. Fantastic looks in this too. Again, very classic looking stuff. Reminds me again of those late 70s, early 80s types of books. If this is your favorite cover of the week, go ahead and vote. All right, so moving on to number 2. Number 2, we have a really cool cover here, I thought. This was a Teen Titans issue 34. This is a variant cover. As you get to see Crush and Robin kind of going at it with each other. But if you look in the background, you see all like the curse words, you know, all the symbols that are covering up those curse words, which is kind of cool. And it's all in orange and whatnot. And you have Djinn, who's in the middle of it all, because there's this love triangle going on, and she's got her ears covered, and she's got her, she's got this cool facial expression, like enough, and I thought this one was cool. This was one of the covers that actually really captured my eye because this is a different type of cover. So if this is your favorite cover of the week, go ahead and vote. All right, so next on the list, we go to number 1. And number 1 goes to the new Spider-Man series by J.J. Abrams and his son, Henry Adams, I think it is. And this is Spider-Man issue 1. This is the variant cover, the Clayton Crane variant. This is cool. And it's very simplistic, but nevertheless, it just looks badass. Spider-Man hanging upside down, hanging by his web, and all these creepy black spiders are hanging down with him. It's kind of like almost like a modern day Spider-Man issue 1 that Todd McFarlane did when Spidey was on his web right side up, but caught in a web with all the spiders on it. And that's what kind of reminded me of this cover. And I just loved how it was kind of modern day like, right? So, and he also made like different variants for this actual cover as well. I think there was a black suited one and whatnot. So it was kind of cool what he did to make it nostalgic but fresh at the same time. So this one made my number 1 cover of the week. And if it was yours, go ahead and vote, fans. All right, so there you have it. There are my top 10 comic book covers of the week. As always, guys, if you want your vote heard, you must put it in the comment section below. If one of these covers didn't strike your fancy, go ahead and put your own cover in the comment section below, as that one could start to trend and overtake the other top 10 comic book covers. And if you want, make sure you have your vote in by next Monday at 8 a.m. as it bring you week 39's books and the results to week 38. So again, guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. And guys, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off, and you've been watching Comic Book Corner 2.0.